Wesley Snipes is back in the headlines. Not for tax evasion this time, as he usually is.
Great.
And not for weird Gallo Walkers movies or anything.
Ooh.
Did you ever see that?
Gallo Walkers?
Strange movie. It's
No.
like it was like a Western sci-fi vampire thing with Wesley Snipes in it. It was weird. Don't watch it.
Another vampire movie.
I'm pretty sure it's on Netflix. But he was in talks. I mean, he's in the news because he's in talks with MCU executives about new Blade projects.
Gosh. It was like the 20th anniversary of Blade this year.
Yeah.
Right?
Nick, what's Blade?
Blade is a story of a half man, half vampire who decides to betray his own kind and hunt down vampires.
Daywalker.
And can he walk out during the day? I couldn't remember that. Yeah.
That's his name's the Daywalker.
All right,
That's the whole
I
point.
forgot. It's been a while since I've seen those
He
movies.
got bitten when the mother was pregnant, so he has all the advantages of a vampire with none of the drawbacks.
He still has to drink blood, though.
Except drinking blood. But is that a drawback?
No. Does he drink? Well, where does he get the blood from, though?
He invents a serum that like deals with it.
Did you see the Guillermo del Toro one? The number 2?
Yeah, let's not talk about that.
Blade?
Blade 2.
Was that
The
Guillermo?
second and third one were
That was like
pretty
his
whatever.
that was like one of his second. That was actually
People talk about Guillermo del Toro as in he doesn't make bad movies, but he definitely does.
Yeah, it was.
I still love him. Don't get me wrong.
It's interesting.
He's not 100% hit.
He was on his way to being Guillermo del Toro.
Didn't he do Pan's Labyrinth before that?
No, it was way after that.
Yeah.
Way after. Because like that was him just learning how to be a filmmaker in America.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
It's just not. But it's like, it's like Dave Fincher's Alien 3 isn't his best movie.
Yeah. That movie gets a lot of hate, though, and I don't think it's that bad.
But he's on his way. That's what I'm saying.
None of the Blades are that good.
First Blade is great. Just shut your mouth. Do. And they have a rave party, and the water sprinklers go off, but the water sprinklers have blood in them. Because it's a vampire party.
Yeah, it's not that good.
You don't get it, Chris. It was 1997. We didn't have movies this cool yet.
It's the most 90s thing ever.
Rave parties.
Raves.
Yeah, rave
They
parties.
all have
Yes,
raves.
it doesn't age well.
It's like the Matrix Revolutions. Just
Honestly, actually, Nick, this was probably prime time for you when this came out. Was this like your favorite movie?
this was, you know what? This was
still
before.
is prime.
No. He's right though because we didn't have
he
comic.
would've-
We didn't
he
have
would've
many
been
comic
20
movies.
or something,
We were
right?
dying for comic book movies. This was
Yeah.
like we were so happy to see this on screen.
And you got Blade.
Way before Black Panther. This was our first black
True.
superhero.
And it was a comic book movie.
And it was a comic book movie. Like, it was like, cool. Wesley Snipes is in. The Demolition Man is a vampire hunter.
Man, I love Demolition Man. Ugh.
Yeah.
The guy from White Man Can't Jump is a vampire hunter.
Man, we should do Wesley Snipes.
The guy from Passenger 57.
Yeah, what else has he got? It's going to be a short season.
Yeah, well, with What's the Kill Count, we only wanted to do 5 episode seasons. Well, I did, but because Arnold Schwarzenegger's got so many, we did 10.
Yeah, good luck with that.
The Running Man is going to be a dope podcast, I just say. I love it so much.
If you're wondering what we're talking about, we have a new podcast called What's the Kill Count. You can look it up on iTunes or Google or Stitcher. But this is what he said when he was talking about talking to the Marvel executives. This is what Wesley Snipes said. There are a lot of conversations going around right now.
That's racist.
And that's what he sounds like, doesn't he?
I'm kidding. I don't know what he sounds like.
I forget what he sounds like now, hey.
That's fine.
There are a lot of conversations going on around right now, and we're very blessed to have the enthusiasm and interest. I'm sounding like an old governor.
Gosh.
I'll just read it Australian. There are a lot of conversations going around right now, and we're very blessed to have the enthusiasm and interest in something coming from that world again. We've created 2 projects that fit perfectly into this world, and when people see them, I think they're going to have a problem with deciding which one they love the most.
But they're going to bring them out simultaneously?
You didn't go into too much detail. All the main execs at Marvel and my team, we've been discussing for the past 2 years. Everyone's enthusiastic about it. Everyone gets it. But they got a business to run, and they got to square things that they got to figure out before they can get to it, I guess. In the meantime, we got a business to run and our own slate of things to do so. But the next time you see something in the Blade universe, mark my words, what we did before is child's play compared to what we can do now.
Is this Wesley Snipes talking?
I guess so.
Who are his people? I want to know that.
Kevin Feige, man.
Well,
no,
they're
he
not-
said me and my people.
Well, hopefully it includes a tax person.
He's got a good account now.
He's a good accountant.
How do you think Blade would fit into the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Pretty well.
Because he is in it.
Yeah, they could easily play along with Doctor Strange and like that realm, because they haven't gone too deep into the supernatural side of things yet.
Yeah.
So there's definitely a whole realm of that they haven't explored.
Which apparently they are bringing out a vampire one soon. I think he's in the Spider-Man universe though. I can't remember.
Oh no, that's the Sony Spider-Man universe. That's
sorry.
with what's his name? Yeah. I
What?
think Jared Leto was playing Morbius, the living vampire.
Yeah, that one.
Oh, yeah, right.
Which apparently they meet up. And interesting fact, super nerd fact. Do you want to know a super nerd fact that
Please.
only probably you're going to find interesting and no one listening is?
Okay.
So Blade, right? He wasn't as powerful and cool as he was in the movie, but after the success of the movie, in the comic books, Morbius the vampire bites Blade, and it makes Blade pretty much into the movie Blade.
Oh,
What did he do
interesting.
in the comics?
It's kind of wussed out.
I guess he just wasn't as powerful before.
He's not that powerful in the movie.
Yeah, he is.
Do you want to know another geeky fun fact?
What?
Did you know Harley Quinn was invented in the animated show? It became so popular that they turned her into an actual comic book character.
I did know that.
Yeah.
Crazy.
What's the time?
Oh man,
Time to get a watch.
Blade's not that good.
Chris.
Why don't you like movies of diversity?
Speaking of Harley Quinn,
I don't like Black Panther either.
I agree Black Panther is a bit overrated.
The first hour, no, it was the first hour was so boring. Sorry guys, I know people out there like Black Panther, but it was so slow.
Oh, it's significant. I'll give it that.
Yeah.
Like Crazy Rich Asians.
I like that movie, and I wasn't expecting to like it.
I haven't seen it,
That surprised me.
I know if I watch it, I won't like it, but it doesn't take away from the significance.
What's so great about Crazy Rich Asians?
Asian representation.
Because I don't want to talk about this last story.
I could go on about this forever, but yeah, no.
And you did.
Give us your 5 minutes.
No.
No, okay. I've heard from lots of people representation or whatever, and then obviously even my own sister was saying like this had a big significant impact on her. But I'm obviously not in that camp, so I'm obviously thinking like,
What's
okay.
in the movie? I don't know anything about
It's
it.
essentially the big thing about Crazy Rich Asians is the fact that it's an all Asian cast,
Yay.
which is kind of not common, obviously, in Hollywood movies. But
Are
you
they
know they've
all
been doing.
Asian?
They're
Like
all
full
Asian.
Asian
Yeah, they're
or
all
half
full
white?
Asian. No,
Like
they're all
some
full
people?
Asian.
Okay.
All Asian actors. We've got Aquafina. We got Constance Wu.
Am I supposed to know who these
No,
people are?
probably not.
Okay.
Michelle
Constance Wu.
Yeoh?
Michelle Yeoh.
What about that guy named Wing
I don't know.
from Ninja Assassin? He's cool.
I don't know. A lot of these guys I didn't know. There was a guy from Melbourne who's in it.
Oh, cool.
Chinese dude from Melbourne.
yeah.
Yeah.
I saw him last week.
Why? But obviously the reason why everybody's been saying this is significant is because it's all Asian casts, and Hollywood's actually put some money behind it,
And it's in English.
Right,
Right.
and that's the big thing. And so and obviously I debate. If you go to my podcast, I talk a lot about this. Not everybody agrees with what I'm saying, but it's definitely something that the Asian community is definitely embracing, in the sense that it's like, oh, we finally get representation on screen, which historically is true. We don't really get a lot of representation on screen unless we're in a kung fu movie or a villain or something.
Or there'll just be like one Asian guy, the Asian guy.
Yeah, but that being said, in the most in fairly recent times, you're seeing it a lot more, where Asians are starting to get more prominent roles in like a lot of TV shows and a lot of movies. So, for example, the most classic example was Steven Yeun in The Walking Dead. So he's one of the, and they always
Was
talk
that
about
prominent
in the sense that he was not an ancillary character. He was actually he was actually always in the story.
He was like one of the main characters.
And also, he got together with a white girl, and had sex with her on TV, which never happens before.
Is that
I never really
is
thought
that like a
about
big thing for
It
Asians?
doesn't happen. It's never happened on TV before.
Okay.
it. Really?
Yeah, but
Him doing that was the first time.
first time.
I had no idea.
Yeah. So not like, again, it's not one of those things. And obviously, I argue this point that I don't necessarily agree that this is something that the Asian community needs, but it's obviously something that is nice to see. But it's cool. Like I like the fact that there is a movie out there like this.
Besides all the political crap, how's the actual movie?
The movie is all right. And it's definitely something but you want to bring a chick to it. Okay, it's not something you want to see.
Why is it lovely?
It's very lovey-dovey. Like it gets very. It's a
rom-com.
rom-com. It's a
Can
rom-com.
I take my white fiance to it?
Are you allowed to see? Are you allowed to see it? Is what you're saying? Of course, it is as accessible as any other rom-com, right?
And
It'll be fun.
that's the point. It's not an Asian movie. It's just a rom-com that has Asians in it.
It isn't. No, it is not an Asian movie, but there are lots of nuances to Asian culture in there,
Like
and that's
shout-outs.
well,
There
I
has
wouldn't
to be,
even say
otherwise the
shout-outs.
Asians would hate it, right?
I mean, there is definitely things you would identify, but this is the other thing too. I need to find some white people to see this. I need to talk to some white people and say, did you get the cultural reference here or there? Because I wondered if that played much of the story. Because when I was watching it as a person who is Asian and grew up in Asian culture,
You're Asian?
I know it's crazy. There were lots of little things in the movie that was like, oh crap, that some of that stuff is like I remember growing up with that stuff.
Like what? Buddha statues?
So yes, Buddha statues. Unbelievable.
Sorry.
Unbelievable.
You say unbelievable, but was there?
No, there wasn't. I don't think there was. I don't remember.
Piano lessons.
There was piano lessons. Was there any piano lessons? I don't remember. The expectations of Asian parents and their kids. I know they play that, but they don't play it as a stereotype. It's like they do play it as something that's like, oh, that's something that a lot of kids do go through.
Yeah.
So, and they go through a lot of that stuff, and it's like family obligation and that kind of stuff. So, which is, I know that's not something that I guess a lot of Western kids go through.
But it's something
Honestly,
we can identify.
It's something
Yeah.
I wish I had more of.
Yeah. But but the interesting thing is that in the movie, that's something they go into in the sense that, and every Asian kid who grew up with parents, who grew up parents in the 80s, or even earlier than that, like just that level of expectation is crazy.
Nice. Is that it?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for listening to Trend Settings episode 103. As usual, we got into more of an argument than I thought we would.
Yes.
I'm going for a roll.
Is usually
Trying
what
to get my
happens
roll
when Nick's
on.
on.
Trying to argue more. People seem to like it.
Yeah, well, it was good.
I know. I'm just like this clip will come back in my history at some point.
I'm here to stop you guys going in circles. As long as that doesn't happen, I'm fine with it.
I thought I was going in circles.
We have discussions.
We got so many things.
The tricky thing with Nick going in circles is he changes his argument a little bit each time. So it gets a little bit frustrating.
You didn't learn, did you?
Huh?
It's
When you listen to it back, it'll be interesting.
Okay. I'm probably not gonna.
I do slide it a little bit.
Yeah.
It's something I got to learn to be better at, is keeping the argument straight.
Why has everything got to be straight, Nick?
Alright, thanks for listening to episode 103. Recommend it to your friends. Listen to our new podcast. Love each other. Have different opinions, but have discourse with justice.
No, I'm not agreeing. It's like Chris and I are not friends anymore.
Yeah,
Well, it's
all
over.
Grow up.
Adaptation is a great
Thanks for
movie,
all your input, Ev. Ali didn't read your comments to me. Sorry, I would have.
I read them.
You
See,
guys can
I'm
read
the
the
guy.
bloody comments.
I read them.
I
I responded
blame
to
you.
some of them.
Look, someone had a great comment. You know who had great comments? Is this?
Grant?
Yeah, Grant, but also this.
This.
Ev. It's like Ev Grant. Grant, we would have had a lady on the panel today,
Yeah.
but they all bailed.
We
so
don't pick the topics then the panel. We pick
Yeah,
the panel
I know.
then the topics.
yeah, so you can stick that in your pipe and also smoke it.
Sorry,
Alright.
Grant. I appreciate your feedback.
We'll see you next week. Thanks for listening / watching. This has been Trend Settings. We are Group Settings. Goodbye.
Woohoo!